find it fascinating how the modern censor operates. They're a faceless person hiding behind the corporation and gets to decide what people are and aren't allowed to be exposed to. Like, for example, Tucker Carlson. A lot of people are demanding that he gets censored, but his last interview with Andrew Tate got tens of millions of views. Like, there are nations on Earth that are smaller than the viewership that Tucker Carlson managed to get on Twitter. And yet, there are people who think that they know better than all these individuals. You know, I would love to see their face. I would love to see the face of a person that can state, I actually know better than those 10 million people. I'm actually smarter, more educated. I can watch that content to justify whether or not it should be allowed to the public because my brain is wired differently. I'm a lot more smarter and intelligent than everyone else. But everyone else can't be trusted. They need to be treated like children. This interview is harmful and dangerous for them, and I should be able to ban it without giving much of a reason besides a corporate response, you know, like this is not safe, this is harmful. But I looked at the interview, right? Because like if so many people wanted it down, then I had to see like what exactly is it that's so dangerous. And looking at the comment section, it seems that the thing that upset them the most, like more than anything else that was said, was Andrew Tate's take on depression. And I think I can know why that is. But first, let's listen to the take, and then we can make a comment on it.
You've said depression isn't real, or it's not, as the way we describe depression isn't accurate. What do you think of depression?
When I say depression isn't real, that really upset the world, especially the liberals, because they all live on medication, right? When I say depression isn't real, I'm saying that because I don't believe in things that can take away power from me. If I believed in depression, I would have been depressed in jail. But I can't be depressed if I don't believe in it. If you don't believe in ghosts, how can you be haunted? You have two people in a haunted house. One believes in ghosts, one doesn't. There's a knock in the night. One wakes up, calls an exorcist, is terrified, looks for a ghost. The other guy doesn't believe in ghosts. Knock in the night, goes back to sleep. It's the belief in the ghost that gives it the power. If I don't believe in depression, I believe in feeling depressed. Sure, we're humans, we have emotions. Sometimes we feel depressed, sometimes we feel happy. I don't believe in the idea of becoming a depressed person who has depression. I don't believe in that. I don't.
Okay, so I guess he's articulating it wrong. The words could be phrased better, but what he is trying to say is that he doesn't allow depression to become his identity. And this struck a nerve with a very vocal part of internet culture that existed since Tumblr. And these individuals, way before putting pronouns in your bio was popular, they would put their mental afflictions in their bio. So on Tumblr, you would see someone that would have their name displayed, then they would be like, I'm a social justice druid or something like that. And then next to that, you would have autism, ADHD, bipolar, like making those diagnostics, which usually were self-diagnosed, like they wouldn't actually go to a doctor, they would just say, well, I have this because I think I have it. And they would put it on their bio as part of their identity. And I guess like this is a different way of viewing the world, because if you go on the internet and you claim that you're having depression, it's kind of like going on the playground and showing that you have an ouchie, like you have a boo-boo. And all of the friends come up and it's like, oh my God, are you okay? Like you become the center of attention all of a sudden, right? And no one is allowed to be mean to you because, well, look, he's got a boo-boo, like leave him alone. So this is the mindset of certain individuals. Like this is literally how they have their life, by taking these things and creating an identity based around them. The other way is for the people to walk it off. You get the boo-boo, you get the ouchie, but you want it to be healed so you can go and play soccer with the kids again. Like you do not want compassion from that. You don't want that to become your identity. You just want for that thing to go away so you can move on with your life. In the case of Andrew Tate, he is explaining how he feels about this issue. And as someone who is a fighter, like an MMA fighter, he probably has to deal the same way with pain. Like, kind of like in Karate Kid, it's like, pain does not exist in this dojo. That doesn't mean that pain isn't real or you can't feel pain. it means that you're not supposed to whine about it because you're competing in a sports match and you need to go through the pain in order to achieve victory, in order to classify as winning the competition. Like if you're in a fighting game and all of a sudden you got punched and you start crying and whining about it, right? Like, you're not going to win like that. So you have to train your mind in order to ignore the pain. And this is what he is doing with depression. He basically says that in his situation, he doesn't want to allow it to become his identity. And he is expressing how it actually helped him when he was in a Romanian prison, with the fact that if he was to allow it to become his identity, he wouldn't have been able to cope with the situation as well as he did by, doing other things like working out, reading the Quran, and whatever else he said in the interview. But this is why the culture on the internet, because not all leftists are like this, but there is like a significant way of thinking, and they feel attacked if you actually try to cure the depression, if you actually find a way that would cure the illnesses that they put in their bio, because they have those in order to get compassion and understanding from people. And without those, if they were to be like everyone else, well, all of a sudden they're being robbed of that compassion, that understanding, the spotlight. They want the spotlight, right? The thing is, like, you can get the spotlight in a different way. You can get the spotlight by being an excellent person, by creating something that other people can't create, by achieving something that other people look at you in awe. But they don't want that. It's too hard. It's too difficult. So what they want instead is compassion through pity, right? And someone like Tate is insulted by the idea, like, I'm getting compassion from pity. Because, yeah, you are getting compassion. But what other people want is admiration. And you want to receive admiration by giving something to society. Like, you're producing something that is worth admiring, and that's why people are flocking around you, and that's why you're making friends and people talk to you, right? It's not because of pity. So this is why I think a lot of people got really upset on Twitter over this specific segment, right? They didn't get upset when he talked about Greta Thunberg, didn't get upset when they talked about Ukraine, didn't get upset when he talked about it. A little like this thing really struck a chord. And I think like this is the legitimate reason as to why. But anyway, I have gone a little bit more in depth on this interview on my live stream. So if you want to hear more about my thoughts on this, do check it out. And of course, if you want to support the channel for whatever reason, then you can get the best buyer's remorse by going over to my Subscribe Star. I'll put both links into the pinned comment. And if you scroll down, you're going to see them. And hopefully I will see you guys in the comment section. Take care.